because he never cried. So when he cried, the mother could not speak when he's crying. Could not know whether he's crying or not because he didn't show that reflex. He didn't show crying or facial changes. His parents took him to many hospitals, including Litane Mission Hospital, Siloam Hospital in Kericho, Bliss Medicare Private Hospital, Kericho Medical Center, Kericho County Referral Hospital, Kipng'etich Referral Hospital, MediHeal Hospital Eldoret, and the teams of doctors, finally teams of doctors met the parents, doctors and specialists, after working on this boy and seeing that there's no way, nothing they could do. The teams of doctors and specialists, they met the parents to counsel them and informed the family that a big part of Emmanuel's brain had developed permanent brain damage and that their child would remain in that condition permanently with constant convulsions every 45 minutes per hour per day. And he would be in continuous need of oxygen therapy and anticonvulsant drugs. Tremendous, tremendous condition of this precious boy. But on January 28th, the year 2020, Emmanuel's mother sent a prayer request to the mightiest, most glorified and most dreadful prophets of the Lord. And the mightiest, most glorified and most transfigured and most decorated prophets of heaven, the greatest friends of Yahweh, the ones who have called Yahweh to visit them in the eyes of the modern age, modern generation in Kisumu. When finally they sent a text, a prayer request on January 28, 2020 this year, to the two mega prophets of the Lord, the prophets of mystery, the ones that sometimes appear two, sometimes one. And they replied the text after reading that deplorable, unbelievable condition of Emmanuel. They replied the parents by saying, "It is well, be at peace. It is well, be at peace. We are praying for Emmanuel. It is well, be at peace. We are praying for Emmanuel." That's January 28, 2020. But upon them receiving that text, to their shock, Emmanuel's totally blind eyes popped open. And his totally deaf ears popped open. And his swallowing reflex was fully restored. And the drooling saliva stopped. And Emmanuel began to attempt to turn on the bed, but still could not crawl or stand. However, this was a big milestone already. This was now a big wonder happening in front of the parents. If he can swallow by himself, if he can eat by himself, if the parents now can give him food and he eats, if he can eat by himself. This was now a very big wonder that has happened in their eyes. That his totally blind eyes finally popped open, and his totally deaf ears opened, and the swallowing reflex was fully restored. The drooling saliva stopped. That alone was so big to be celebrated, because now he could follow things with his eyes. He showed signs in hearing sound. He could now swallow food. And then he began to try to turn on bed. So he could turn on bed, but he could still not crawl or stand. Now, April 2020, during the global service. Very mighty, the mightiest prophets of the Lord decreed mega healing at the global service in April 2020, right here from headquarters here. And from the headquarters here. And then, when the two mightiest prophets of the Lord decreed healing at that meeting, during the live broadcast, our global broadcast, the mega global revival services, then Emmanuel stood up for the first time, but still could not talk, could not walk rather. Emmanuel stood up for the first time, but still could not walk. Then come last Saturday, just 1 week ago. This Saturday is not yet over. Probably 6 days, some hours. December 12th, the year 2020, when the two mega prophets of the Lord at the global service, during the live broadcast, they made a decree during the global service. They decreed that people be healed. Emmanuel instantly stood up and walked on that very day. And he's still walking until this day. Glory to God in the highest. And so, blessed people, we are celebrating this tremendous wonder in the land. This is a wonder. This is much bigger than a miracle. This is a wonder happening in the land. This is bigger than a miracle. A tremendous wonder is happening in the land. Bwana anatembea kwa taifa hili kwa njia kubwa sana. The Lord is walking across this land in a very, very mighty way. The Lord is walking across the land. The blood of Jesus is flowing in a tremendous way across this land. Emmanuel Kipng'etich healing. The healing of Emmanuel Kipng'etich is a wonder. You see, we have failed to disperse after the meeting. We have been talking here and celebrating here, and we'll continue probably until 6 p.m. Celebrating the mighty wonder that God has done in this land. Who can sleep on this? That totally crippled, totally blind, totally deaf, has no swallowing reflex, cannot swallow. And at the same time, every time convulsions, he's dying, people are running, he's going to die. Oi, what a terrible state for a family to be in. You look at that mother, you honor her. Going through that for even 1 month may not be easy. May be a tall order. But to go through that for 5 good years. And it's amazing because she was in our church. The husband was away in another church. So you can imagine for yourself that I don't know for how long she's been here, but you can imagine when she carries that vegetative state of Emmanuel. Emmanuel was more like a child that's about to die in a coma. You can imagine carrying that kind of child and bringing to church. And across time, if she has been here for some time, there must have been healings that have taken place at the decree of these two prophets from Nairobi. If she has been here for some time, there must have also been healing services where she may have brought Emmanuel and she walked away with Emmanuel in that state, and other cripples got up and walked away. So the story of stories is behind the scenes. We don't know what that family went through. We don't know what it meant for her to lay her baby in the church and see a creepers walk and run and celebrate in front there. But we also don't know what the members of the church where she attended that used to see Emmanuel being brought in that condition every day, every Sunday, every whenever. We don't know what they are going through now when they watch Emmanuel on TV walking. There must have been members in that church that were seeing Emmanuel lay down there. Every 45 minutes, he's about to die, oxygen therapy, something. He cannot eat. They have to push the food that is ground with a spoon through his throat using tubes. So you can imagine the members of the church that had also seen Emmanuel in that state. You can imagine what they are going through now, seeing the same Emmanuel walking. The blood of Jesus is flowing across this land in a very, very mighty way. The Lord Jehovah is walking across this land. Bwana anatembea kwa hii taifa kwa njia kubwa kali sana. This is one of the biggest healings in the history of the Bible. And so Emmanuel Kipng'etich has kept us here. We're not able to sleep. We are celebrating throughout. And we have decided that one time we're going to arrange to bring the family to the head offices here and celebrate with them in a big way, because this one is a wonder. A very big wonder has taken place. Emmanuel Kipng'etich in his situation. But now, when Jehovah the Lord, Jehovah Haaret, I don't call Haaret, the Lord of all the earth, Jehovah Adonai, the Lord God, Jehovah Bara, the Lord our Creator, Jehovah Chesed, the Lord our strength, Jehovah Eli, the Lord my God, Jehovah Elion, the Lord Most High, Jehovah Cherub, the Lord the Sword, Jehovah Eslami, the Lord my strength, Jehovah Gador, Milchama, Gador Milchama, Jehovah Ganan, Jehovah Goel, Jehovah Hosea, Jireh, Kana, Magen, Amelech, Jehovah Miskabi, Jehovah Ori, Jehovah Rohi, my shepherd, Jehovah Shalom, the complete peace, restored peace, Jehovah Sori, Jehovah Seli, my rock, Tidhenu, our righteousness, Jehovah Rufe, our healer, Jehovah Rapha, Nahe, Mefalti, Maoz, Mashi, Kabodi, Imeku, Ashophet, Canaan, the mighty God of Israel, when he remembered Emmanuel, Kipng'etich. Hey, when the Lord decided to move in and cause his prophet to make a decree, knowing that Emmanuel Kipng'etich was there. And when he healed him, it's amazing a healing. He healed everything at once. Hey! At times people think he raises him to walk. That is sufficient to celebrate and tell him thank you. But to restore the sight, restore also the ears, restore the feeding reflex. And he's now walking and walking straight and more stable. And there is no contact between the major prophets of the Lord and Emmanuel Kipng'etich. And when he healed him, at that decree, the Lord brings to my ear, I was asleep. I was trying to catch at least a 2-hour sleep before the meeting, before our services here. Then he brings the celebration very loud in my ear. Even the manner in which the Lord relates with his two prophets as two friends, amazing. Amazing, amazing. Like friend talk to friend. He brings the celebration very loud on my right ear, and he increases the volume so it's very loud because he knew I was so tired and I was sleeping. So very loud, I jumped up, I woke up and said, that's too loud. Celebrating a creeper has walked. Even the manner of the Lord breaking the news, bringing breaking news about Emmanuel Kipng'etich has been healed. And the voice said, look what you have done on the other side of the land. And I could see them celebrating. The way the Lord broke the news about Emmanuel Kipng'etich. Now look what you've done on the other side. And today to look at the wonderful doing of God, astounding, awesome, shocking, powerful. And that's why we're not able to sleep. No, not possible. It's not possible. And so this is such a shocking time. And that's why we're celebrating the blood of Jesus that is flowing across this land. We're celebrating the advent of the two mega prophets of the Bible and the treasure they are to the church, to restore the honor of the church, to restore the honor of Christian salvation, the honor of Christianity, the honor of the religion of the cross. And you can see the way they preach with all their lungs, 5 hours, 6 hours. Who does that? You can see they have a serious burden. And the Lord is using them to restore the image of Christ across the earth. Now there is power. Now there is hope. Now there is a future. Now the church can dream of eternity. Now there is restoration. And that's why we are celebrating here at the head offices here in a very big way. And mine is bigger. Emmanuel Kipng'etich. What an awesome, awesome wonder. And if the Lord had set out to demonstrate to this generation, this nation, the nation of Kenya, to begin with, and to this entire generation, if the Lord had set out to demonstrate to all the nations, to the entire body of Christ, the authority and the power, the amount of which he has bestowed upon his servants, the amount of power, the amount of authority he has placed on his servants, if that is what the Lord had set out to establish, then he achieved it in such a major style. Because Emmanuel Kipng'etich, his healing is nothing short of a wonder, bigger than a miracle. That you can even see him standing on his feet and walking and making next one step, right, another step, step by step, seeing, hearing, and eating and walking. That is the most unbelievable wonder. Establishing the power of the blood of Jesus, the authority of the blood of Jesus, and the authority with which the two prophets have come to prepare such a decorated highway for the Lord, decorated way for the coming of the Messiah. Now the church out there, you have a challenge. The Messiah is coming. The cripples are walking. The blind can see. The deaf can hear. And the gospel of the coming of the kingdom of God is being preached across the face of the earth. We are celebrating here. We will not leave for what the Lord has done in this land. Bwana anatembea kwenye hii taifa kwa njia kali sana, kwa njia kubwa sana. The Lord is walking across this land in a very big way, mighty way here. Walking across the land, establishing the authority of Jesus, the authority of the cross, the authority of the blood, and establishing the power, the identity of the two prophets stand. Emmanuel Kipng'etich will celebrate this tremendous wonder in this land. This is a wonder that has happened in the land of Kenya. A wonder has happened in the church globally. This is bigger than Kenya. This is on a global landscape. This is a wonder in the church. And so, we will come back to you, but we are celebrating this without ceasing tonight. Why? Because many nations, many cities, alpha cities, wealthy cities, alpha economies, first world, whatever world, are longing for this kind of one visitation like this. But they haven't gotten one. So it would be such a letdown, a great disservice to the Lord if we say next, let everybody go rest after Kesha. But we cannot, knowing that Jesus travailed on the cross. He cried out on the cross, and he said, it is finished. And now we are seeing what the Lord meant when he said it is finished. That he had finished the power of the enemy, the power of sin, the power of the devil, the power of sickness and disease, and all the factors that bring disease. And now man can have hope. That you can now have hope. When you look at Emmanuel Kipng'etich walking, you now say, my Redeemer liveth. My Redeemer lives. How do you say? Why do you say he lives? How? Because Emmanuel Kipng'etich is walking. My Redeemer is coming.